Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. Always happy to see Dee Grossman from Tuscarawas County. Good morning.
Good morning. And I'm always pleased to be here, too.
Yay. She is the executive director of the Tuscarawas County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
That's correct.
Okay.
You got it right.
That means you are one busy gal.
You know what? This is one of our more busier times. People think that because it's winter, it's not busy, but we're doing all of our planning. We just had tour operators in a couple of weeks ago. We offered a FAM tour, which is short for familiarization tour. They were here from Michigan, Tennessee, West Virginia, all over the East Coast and the Midwest.
Now, why would someone take a familiarization tour?
Well, they may not be familiar with Tuscarawas County's attractions. We invite them in. We give them hotel rooms. We give them food. We put them on a motor coach. We take them to our sites. We give them an abbreviated tour. So you wouldn't get the 2-hour tour at Warthers. You'd get the 30-minute or the 45-minute.
Oh.
It's just a taste. They want to see if their coach business would like that, if they could sell it, if they could sell it to their group leaders, etc.
So these are people that would be bringing then other people into the area, and you get a little nice tidbit of everything.
Right. We see the whole entire county in about 2.5 days.
Oh,
it's exhausting.
I can't imagine. Because there's so much.
Well, and you figure Tuscarawas County is 560-some square miles. You know, it's a big county geographically.
So the response to a FAM tour has got to be like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, well, what they are amazed at, number one, is the history that we have here. Number two, a lot of our museums operate on volunteers. They're not accustomed to that at all.
Right.
Especially in Newcomers Town. At any one given time, they'll have 35 volunteers. 35 volunteers doing the show.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
And that's how much people love the community.
Yeah,
and love being part of it.
Well, it's like the Polar Express, which just ended down in Denison. They operate with 100 to 110 volunteers per ride.
Yeah.
Not for the whole 2 weekends, but per ride.
It's so amazing. You feel like you just really are on the way, because you are. You're on the way to the North Pole.
To the North Pole.
You're seeing Santa.
That's right.
He lands right on your own car.
He does.
I'm amazed at the young people who volunteer. Those elf volunteers are so amazing,
they'll take them,
hardworking.
I think, starting in about 3rd or 4th grade.
And they must go through a training because
They
every
do
one
go
of
through
them
a training.
just
both
absolutely.
safety training and
Yeah.
storytelling training.
They're amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
It's an amazing thing. Sorry, it's over. But,
but they'll start selling tickets for 2019 around June or July, believe it or
yeah,
not.
and I do believe it. And you don't want to miss out because there are other Polar Expresses. This is a special one.
I think it is. I mean, that's what I believe. Now, I'm a little bit biased. I'm from Tuscarawas County. I used to be one of the storytellers, but I'm not anymore. They've got lots of volunteers to do that. But again, it's by volunteers. They have a passion not only for the process, but for the depot as well.
Oh, yes. The history there is something so cool. So, unfortunately, if you missed the boat on that one or missed the train, so to speak, you can't do that. But what have we got coming up that we can do?
Christmas at the Reeves Museum is taking a storytelling theme. They have a storybook in each of their rooms. If you've never been to the Reeves, it's a Victorian mansion. It's got all of the original furnishings from the Reeves family. So it's particularly nice this time
How
of
beautiful. Where is that located?
That is located right in Dover, just north of the hospital. So if you've ever been down that way, it's right on Worcester Avenue. So the PAC, the Performing Arts Center, has Christmas with Michael W. Smith. They've also got you should have seen, if this was a television, your eyes almost flew right out of your head. So obviously you know him.
Yeah, who doesn't? That's, his Christmas program is coming to Tuscarawas County?
Yeah, you better get some tickets.
Are there still any?
Yeah, I believe there are a few tickets left.
Goodness. Where is that going to be and when?
It's the Performing Arts Center, which is at Kent State University at Tuscarawas. We have our own Performing Arts Center.
It is
we also
fabulous.
have Christmas in Paradise. That's at the Star Theater in Sugar Creek. That's playing all the way through the end of the year.
And just seeing those two theaters, they're so professional and just really top drawer. Everything about it is top
The
drawer.
acoustics in both of them are phenomenal. One seat's about 1,200, the other seat's about 500. Completely different settings. At the Star Theater, you have extra leg room, extra hip room. So, yeah, they're both very
awesome.
nice.
Okay, I don't want to gloss over that. How do you get tickets for Michael W. Smith?
You can call up the Performing Arts Center directly.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can either give us a call at 1-800-527-3387, or you can dial Kent State University Direct, which I believe is 330-339-3391.
Oh, you're amazing.
That was amazing. I didn't even have to look at anything.
Wow. Okay, so get your tickets for that.
Yep.
And then Christmas in Paradise, and that is
at the Star
Theater.
Theater. That one I would have to look up because
That's okay.
I'm not familiar with that number. They just opened a year ago.
Yes, and it's fabulous.
It is fabulous.
Okay, so our entertainment's taken care of. What
Our
else is
entertainment
going
is
on?
taken care of. So here's the other thing that we're working on. Again, it's not a quiet time for us. We're doing all of our travel shows. We are buying all of our advertising. We're also putting together 10 different niche directories. In addition to our visitor's guide, which is our very big piece.
Wow.
That's a 40-piece. That goes out to all of our visitors, travel writers, tour operators. It's the beginning. Again, it's just a taste of Tuscarawas County. We also have golf directories, outdoor recreation, antiques guide, theater guide, arts directory.
Oh, my goodness.
We're also working on a few others, which will include culinary. It will also include our geocaching. Do you know what geocaching is, by the way?
I do not.
It's like a high-tech scavenger hunt. So you get on the geocaching website and you type in, let's say, Tuscarawas County, and it'll show you all of the sites in Tuscarawas County, and you have to answer some sort of a riddle or a question, like who's buried in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And then you'll know that there's something at Fort Lawrence because they have the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yes.
And then there'll be some sort of a logbook that you can sign into. And when you finish a whole geocaching trail, you get a gold coin. The gold coin has a number on it, which you register with the geocaching website, and then you get bragging rights. That's purely all it is bragging rights.
So this is a game that everybody plays online?
No, you have to physically get out.
Oh.
Go to Fort Lawrence or
you
go
have
to Werther's. Yeah,
yes.
There's other geocaching trails. They're all over the country. But
So this gets people to the different locations, but
Yeah.
it is everybody playing online together against each other.
Yeah, kind of. It is.
What a fun thing.
And it's very multi-generational because the kids want to go, but if the parents are busy, then they take the grandparents. So it's multi-generational. It gets overnight business because you can check into one of our hotels, get the geocaching information, and get started right away. They like to go out at, I don't know, like Jim Burney time, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, exactly, right, yeah.
They get out, they're all done by noon, they're
Yes.
back, and they're already taking a nap.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Too fun.
Yeah.
We're talking about so much history. You mentioned Fort Lawrence. I can remember Sunday drives. Would you consider going to the Moravian Indians and all that? Is that all part of your area, the Schönbrunn Village and all of that?
Yep,
That's
Schönbrunn
all there.
Village. So you have to think back
So
to the
much.
1700s
Yes.
because that's when Tuscarawas County started. During the Revolutionary War, we were the westernmost outpost, and the Pennsylvania regiment came from Pittsburgh. They ended up at Fort Lawrence, which is about as far as they could walk. It was cold. It was like today. You know, it's a cold, wintry, snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And they could only travel anywhere from 2 to 6 miles a day. Now, that doesn't sound like very much, but consider that they had to pack up their horses. Well, first they had to find their horses because they didn't have food, so they had to let the horses go and forage. Yeah, I know. And then they had to find the horses, and then they had to pack everything up. So when you say 2 to 6 miles a day, people look at you and they don't think that's very much, which it really isn't. But then they had to get to the next spot within time to rebuild their tents and set their camp up before it got dark. So they really only had maybe 3 or 4 hours of really good time. So Fort Lawrence was created as a winter stopover. It was never intended to be a full-time fort. They were going to be going to Fort Detroit. So, yeah.
How do we know all of this? Great record keeping?
Archaeological digs, great record keeping. The militia was very good at keeping records. The same with the Moravian Christian, the Moravian missionaries. They kept very accurate records. Who lived, who died, who was born, what their Indian name was, what their Christian name was. They have all of that information.
Yeah, I love going to Schönbrunn Village and being able just to even walk around that cemetery and see, you know, now that's for real. That hasn't been rebuilt. That's the real McCoy there.
That's the real McCoy. Same with Chenatenhutton, or as the locals say, Gnatenhutton.
Right, yeah.
There are 92 Christian Indians buried in a mound, and those have never been disturbed. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. you really can just give yourself a lot of day trips and without going far away.
Yeah, we're only, 28 miles? Well, you could be to Bolivar Resort in 20 minutes. You could actually get on the towpath right there at Fort Lawrence, walk or bicycle or run if you were so inclined.
And for those who live in the Tuscarawas County area, you're right there. It is in the backyard. I think we're all guilty of this. If we've got so much right there, we don't go visit it. I've heard that time and time again from people saying, I've never been to that, and you're living right here. Do you find that to be true?
Every county I ever visit has the same issues.
Yeah.
It's a local issue.
So you are responsible for getting other people to come visit, which is great because they spend their money here in our town, in our area, and they pay our sales tax and so forth, and that really benefits all of us, doesn't it?
So our job is to get visitors to spend money. It is an economic development-based position. The way in which they do that is twofold. One, they come down and they stay overnight in our hotels. They then pay a lodging tax, which is similar to a sales tax. That lodging tax then comes back to the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and that's our operating dollars. It's pretty true in every county and every state in the nation. That's how we operate. And then the second fold is go to our attractions, go to our theaters, buy our T-shirts, buy our food.
Right.
So there's a couple of layers to the economic development and the economic impact that a Convention and Visitors Bureau is working on.
We have so many things that are particular just to us. Nobody else had a war there.
I think everything that we have is particular to us.
Yes. But I'm thinking,
even Tuscora Park with its amusement rides.
Exactly.
Well, you would never compare it to a Cedar Point, but you would never compare it to any other park because it's not like any other park.
It truly is not. And where's, the only other thing I can kind of think of would be Myers Lake, where that went by the wayside a long time ago. Tuscarawas County was able to keep Tuscora Park, and it's thriving, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Right now we've got Storybook Lane, and that will be up until about the second week of January. Do you know what Storybook Lane is?
Tell me about Storybook Lane.
Because you're nodding your head, and I'm thinking, she doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So the New Philadelphia Rotary and the city of New Philadelphia got together about 20 years ago or so and got some old, they were fiberboard at that time. They weren't very sturdy. They were stories like Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill stories. Some of them are Christmas, but most of them are just nursery rhymes. They're animated. They're lighted. You'll see the mice going up the clock.
Oh, my gosh, how fun.
And so you can drive through, down at Tuscora Park, you drive through. It's all lit up at night. It's really cute.
So we can do that.
30 different stories.
Now through Christmas, but then it continues until when?
About the second week of January.
Great, because a lot of times the kids are still off school and Christmas is over and you still need something to do.
Well, and once Christmas is over, the kids are like, oh, Mom, I'm bored.
Right. So here's something very fun to do. All right. Now, you mentioned something that perked up my ears. You said with all the brochures that we've got here, you're working on a new one, culinary.
Culinary, yes. So
Talk to
everybody,
me.
every county has little restaurants that there's only one of a kind. We all know what the chains are. We all have them. Every county has them. But every county also has one of a kind, mom and pops. We're putting that list together. We'll be including some wineries and some breweries as well. We're becoming one of the fastest growing brewery making areas in the state of Ohio. So we're going to be putting that together. That should be ready probably the first quarter of 2019. Oh my gosh, 2019 already.
There's a very fun thing that happens that some of the motorcycle riders do, and they go on an Amish tour of a tasting tour, stopping in every different restaurant and so forth. They might get some cheese at this place and trail bologna at some place.
Is it the Spider Lilies or is it the actual Harley folks?
It's the actual Harley folks.
Because there's a bunch of Spider Lily, which are all female riders. They do the same thing. They actually go all over the country as well, and they originated, I think, in Holmes County.
My husband loves to do it on his motorcycle. I'm a cheat, and I go around in a car.
Well, you can carry more stuff that way, too. You can get the cooler and you got more room to buy things.
That's exactly right. But is there anything better than going from one Amish restaurant to another? I ask you, Dee. I mean, can you think of anything better?
No, I've got nothing. No.
Nope. Nothing
Especially
better.
Especially when there's peanut butter pie on the menu.
Oh, no. I know. Exactly. Will that be all part of this culinary part?
Yes, it will.
So all of the different restaurants that are So wonderful.
Yes, that are special and different and one of a kind.
Okay, that's great. All right, well, I knew this was going to go fast. We've got to take a break here. We're speaking with Dee Grossman from the Tuscarawas County CVB. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.